All right, true. I'm motivated. I'm more motivated out of anger and hate, kind of Cappy, and hate, kind of like Cappy. Piss and vinegar. I'm just more apathetic about chicks and dating. They don't get it, and they're not gonna get it. So guess what? So Pi, let me tell you something. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a little bitch. Okay, here's why. Okay, sorry, I don't channel my inner Wes Watson. Stop being a little bitch. Shave your arms, brother. It's like you put brother at the end of it. Oh, he must like me. Stop being a little bitch, brother.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, I'm fine. Yes. So here's the deal: is it's kind of like saying, what would you say here? I'm just more apathetic about chicks and dating. They don't get it. They're not going to get it, and you know they're not going to get it, right? What do we say? Knowing is half the battle. The other half is violence. Actually, the other half is action. Okay. So you can, and I'm not saying this is you, Pi. This is for people in general. This is not flaming you. You can either change the game, try to change the nature of the game, or you can accept the game for what it is and become the best player of that fucking game that you can be. That's the direction I suggest most guys go. That's the direction I would do it. I understand the game. Now I have a better understanding of how the game is played. People will fuck with you no matter what. Okay, great. I'm going to be the best player of the fucking game that I possibly can be. Women, on the other hand, and bitch behavior and that mentality, egalitarian behavior, is really an effort to change the game. I'll use the example one more time. And this is not a Bill Burr bit, okay? But I do know what he was saying. The WNBA. Okay. Back in the day, the WNBA couldn't put asses in the seats. They still can't put asses in the seats. And you don't know. I would challenge any woman. This is Bill Burr, to name a fucking WNBA team. They don't know. They don't know any of the players. They don't care. It's all up to men. We're going to make men feel shitty about it. Okay, fine. Well, back in 2003, 2006, somewhere around, they realized that the WNBA is not a profitable venture. So what were they going to do? They were going to lower the nets in the WNBA because life below the rim sucks. People want to see slam dunks, and they just didn't have the players back then, really. I mean, now they can. And I'm happy to say they didn't do that. They kept them at the standard height, which is what, 12 feet? Something like that. Yeah. So they kept them at the standard height. But the very fact that they were considering doing that fundamentally changes the nature of the game. It is no longer basketball. It is now women's basketball, softball. Women with an asterisk, WNBA, right? So it's not the same game. And the reason why they kept it that way, I think anyways, is because really they had this sort of like hard on to fucking, say, well, women can do it too. And it doesn't matter. We're not going to lower the rims. But they had this discussion that they were going to for the longest time because that seemed like the most obvious, stupid, wrong decision to make, right? Change the nature of the game to fit the skill sets of the people playing the game. That is a recipe for fucking disaster because you're first of all, it's stolen valor one more time. And it's also changes the nature of the game. And it's like saying like the number one female gender swimmer is the number 436th ranked male swimmer in swimming. Can I be a winner if I change the nature of the game or if I play in a league that's like not like even remotely at my skill set? Yes. Does that make me a winner? No, it makes you a fucking loser is what it does, because it means like you had to do that to in any way feel better about yourself and go get your participation trophy or whatever the fuck it was, right? That's really what feminism does. And that's really what wokeism does. And that's really what postmodernism does. And that's what social constructionism does. And that's what the blank slate does. And that's what emotionalism does. And that's what egalitarianism does. It wants to change the nature of the game in order to suit the players. But what happens is nobody gets better. Everybody, we're all agree we're going to change the nature of the game and we're all going to suck. That's really what it comes down to. We're not going to play this game anymore the way we used to. We're going to make it so everybody can be a winner. And to quote Syndrome from The Incredibles, once everyone is super, then no one will be. It fundamentally defeats the nature of really the game itself. So in the spirit of not changing the game, what's the other alternative? Be a better player of the game that is presented in front of you right now. This is why I always had a problem with MRAs and MGTOWs and all that. Oh, be a stoic, right? No, be a better fucking player. Get your chops up. Learn what works for you and learn what doesn't. If you're 5'9", you're not going to be a power forward for the fucking Lakers. Okay, got it. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't go play another game. You can't be. You could be a jockey. No, you can't, because most of them are like below 4 feet or like 4'11", something like that, right? Okay, I can't do that. What can I do? You can play golf. You could be Tom Cruise. He's only 5'7", right? 5'11". So play to your strengths. Play in a game, play in a league that you can actually be good at. Learn what your talents are. Learn what your strengths are. And you're never going to do that if you're too busy going, I don't care. I'm going to walk away from everything. So learn to be a better player. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And that's Zig Ziglar. Thank you very much.